Manchester United is set to enter into talks with Brentford over the permanent signing of Mbeumo, who has officially chosen United over Newcastle. But what exactly is Ruben Amorim planning, having invested in two number 10s as his first marquee signings in this crucial transfer window? That's what I'm here to talk about. Welcome to the Netero Sport. My name is Webb. You should be happy and excited about where it looks headed. I do hope you are embracing everything that Ineos are doing with Ruben Amorim in trying to bring this team back to the top, because honestly, they seem to have a plan. I just wonder whether you too have a plan of learning how to earn online. It's the way to go, the new normal, and you need to invest in learning how to earn on this internet where we spend a lot of our time, our data, our resources, all of us. But it's the new normal. People are killing it from there. Are you among them? If you're not, join me for that 1 hour class. Book your time with me on the number down there on your screen. This month is still same price, but you can't be sure of what's going to happen next month. So let's get into it. What you should be sure about now is that Mbeumo has made the right decision for his future as a footballer, saying Manchester United is a better option than Newcastle and any other team that wanted him. Now, Mbeumo, 25, is like I told you, first you handle the player side, then if the player gives you the green light, you proceed and hold talks with the club-to-club talks. Now, Mbeumo gave Man United the green light to proceed and go into talks with Brentford, who are expecting between 50 and 60 million pounds for this and number 10 or this forward. Now you wonder what Mbeumo, and I think the deal will be sealed because, again, like I've been saying, those two number 10 positions are so crucial in the Ruben Amorim system that you don't bring a 62.5 million Cunha and fail to bring him a good partner to level up. And honestly, if you look at Cunha, probably the only other striker in the number 10 in the Premier League who would match his levels was only Mbeumo. In fact, Mbeumo should be seen as ahead of Cunha in terms of stats, because we're talking Mbeumo, who scored 20 goals and assisted 7 times in 38 games for Brentford last season. Cunha had 15 goals and 5 assists. Now, it just goes to show you how two lethal number 10s are teaming up, and if it works, trust you me, Man United is going to murder oppositions if it works, because any number 10 you drop on this, for me, will bang in the goals. Even Højlund will turn into a world beater, having a supply from these guys. It's just for him now to calm himself down and bury them chances. But I'll talk about Højlund in a bit, because there are massive plans now. Clubs in Italy are coming all out for him. But sticking to Mbeumo and Cunha, you've got Mbeumo flying in from the left, Cunha from the right, as the two number 10s, then Ahmad as a wing back on one end. Someone was of the view that maybe Ahmad should be the one partnering Cunha as a 10, and you have Mbeumo as the inverted wing back on the right. I think that would be totally wrong, because you're talking a 10 who is scoring 20 goals. You cannot then push him away from what he's used to playing. So I think for me, clearly, if United sell Mbeumo, he's going to be a proper partner of Cunha as the two 10s, and Ahmad will stick to wing back. And I think Ahmad, with that distance in front of him, has done quite well there. So I think these are able players. You can see what Amorim is trying to do to build a team that he will feel he'll call his own, but also can execute what he wants to play. So what then next now? If you bring in these because by the standards of the Premier League now, these are the two of the most high level, and I think kudos to Man United and the team. These are two high level number 10s. If you bring in these two number 10s, which players do you bring around them to support them to execute their role without being failed by people in other departments? Because this has happened several times before. One, certainly the arrival of the two number 10s would mean clearly Bruno has no place in the attacking departments. So he can only, if he's staying, he would only stay as a central midfielder, which I don't think is going to happen. So Bruno, I will still say I think the plan is without him. But which player now do you bring to help these players execute to their best? And for me, that should be the player behind them, the midfielder behind them. So that could be one of the critical next steps for United. Cunha done. Now Mbeumo, sort the number 10, then go into perhaps a midfielder or a goalkeeper. The striker could be probably the last player Man United go for, because, like I've been saying, it's the easier part to sort. When you've got the right players behind the striker in this system, anyone will bury them chances. Even Chido Obi, who will hold the fort probably if you fail to get all your top targets. So I'm not saying that they're not going to go for a striker, but what I'm saying is that the fact that they have signed 2 high-level number 10s, they need to get the right players to support them so that the ball gets to them properly for them to do the damage. So if the ball still struggles in the back, they can't put together good passes to try and get to the number 10s, then it means these 2 10s are going to be forced to come and drop, to come and try to find the ball themselves, covering bigger ground, less effective up top, more tired, frustrated, stuff like that. So you want to have a team, a unit that's going to make them shine. So that, I think, is what Amorim, Omar Berada, and the team will be looking to achieve. So it's, I think, a beautiful. It's honestly, it's encouraging, because if you think about where we are, I mean, among the last teams surviving the league, a feeling that maybe we've lost the allure for top players, and we are able to get 2 of the best number 10s in the Premier League. I think it's commendable enough. It also gives us that confidence to think we can go into any player and convince them that, you see, the project we are building, which striker wouldn't want to play with a 10 like 2 10s like Cunha and Mbeumo, who are banging in double digits of goals in the Premier League in minor clubs? Which goalkeeper wouldn't trust that the forwards, if I have, will get me the goals if I join Man United, if you've got Mbeumo as 2 number 10s behind whichever striker? So I think this is a good thing for Manchester United. And I think I want to commend Ineos and the progress they are making in terms of selling projects in time. You can see that they had already started putting in the work, convinced these players, and I saw the confidence on Ruben Amorim at some time in an interview saying they know what to do. Even Omar Berada, after the first loss to the whatever all-star team in this post-season tour, he was so confident in saying he knows they know what they are doing, and they've got a plan, a meticulous plan which they are going to stick to. They believe in it, and they know which profiles of players they need. So for me now, I'm beginning to really believe in what is being done, or even mooted behind the scenes by the powers that be at Manchester United. So the transfer is on. Of course, we would want to focus a lot on the players exiting, but at this point, I think we know that whether certain players go or not, certain quality players will be brought in. What happens to some of those other players who we believe should be leaving but are not mentioning a single word, they are silent as the word, well, we may not care for now. All we care about is that top players are choosing Manchester United in its worst state ever over certain teams in their best state ever. What does that go to show you? It shows you that if you're a star, you are always a star. Man United is indeed forever a star team. So even in our troubles, we will believe that we will get back up. This is the United of Sport. My name is Webb. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, and also remember to come learn how to earn on the internet. A few upcoming stories to follow up on. Inter Milan and Rasmus Højlund must be up to something. That's a bit of the quick wrap for today. Højlund and Inter, and of course the Juventus and Napoli still interested. We are waiting to see how that will go. Of course, Inter have initiated talks between themselves and Højlund's camp. We'll get the details of what exactly is going on that side. But also Bruno Fernandes and Al Hilal, the countdown is on, and sooner than later, we'll be getting a proper verdict from the player. Guys, the window is on, and United is in business.